Welcome everyone to Take 5. I'm so glad that you have joined me on today. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe and like. As you can see, I am here at this place with Mr. Giant. I thank God for the affordable and dependable auto service and towing. What a mouthful. It's on Williamson Road. Check it out. I will have more information about their location in this video so that you can support this vendor. I thank the owner, I thank his staff, I thank everyone for allowing me to be here. Most of all, you know, guys, I thank God and I thank Sister Gabby. God is so great and he is greatly to be praised. And I said that not even knowing what I was going to say in that regard. But when you think about how great God really is, look at this giant, will you? He's huge. He's among us. And if you haven't figured it out, today I'm going to be talking about those giants. You know, one thing about our life is that we all have giants. There's giants of all kinds, all sizes. And you say, what do you mean by a giant? Well, basically what I'm talking about is anything that you feel like is out of your control, anything that you feel like is overwhelming or too big for you to handle. It could be your finances, it could be your children, it could be a marriage situation, it could be your job, it could be your family, it could be your health, it could be an addiction. There are so many giants that people are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. But really what I want you to understand is that God is bigger than any giant that you have to face. There is a story about a young man, a young boy by the name of David. And we know the story, and many people know it, about David and Goliath. I even like the fact that when we refer to it, we say David and Goliath, because in this story, Goliath didn't win, but David was the winner. He was the winner because he trusted God. He was the winner because he believed that God would equip him to do what needed to be done. He was a winner because he had faith in God and trust in God. He was a winner because he knew who God was, and he knew that he belonged to God. The children of Israel belonged to God. He understood covenant relationship and what it means to be in relationship with God. He understood those principles even as a young boy. What I love about this story is that you have these men of war, you have these men who are educated, you have these men that have fought battles before, you had men in leadership, but yet and still when they saw this giant Goliath, they were afraid. How many people know that there's educated people, there's people that have lots of knowledge, but yet and still they're still fearful, they're afraid of their giants? Well, the good news is you don't have to be afraid, because you serve a God who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or think for. Now, one of the things that God dropped in my spirit about this, and I'm going to hone in on that. Please go back to that 1 Samuel chapter 17. Please go back and read it in its entirety. This is actually going to be a part 1 of a part 2. But what I want to talk to you about today is the voices that you're hearing, okay? God wanted me to say to you, stop listening to your giant. Stop watching your giant, but listen to his word, what his word is saying about your life. The men, when they saw his statue of Goliath, they became fearful. When they heard his words, they became fearful. But David, in spite of what he saw, in spite of what he heard, he was not afraid. He believed that God could do it. He had an experience with God where he was able to fight the lion and the bear. People of God, you have to go back into your memory and remember what God has done for you and know that God can do it. If you don't have a testimony, pull someone else's testimony. You know why I say that? Because God is not a respecter of person. If he did it for David, he will do it for you. You have got to believe that. Don't focus on what the giants in your life are saying, but focus on what God's word says about your life. No matter how big your giant might be, remember that God is bigger than any giant, and he's never lost a battle. Victory belongs to God. David, with a stone and a slingshot, was able to knock down a giant, and the giant fell dead. You have to believe that with God on your side, that giants will fall. Now, I've got more than 5 scriptures for you today, but I want the scriptures to play in hand with what I've just said. Okay, let's go first. Let's do our take 1. Matthew 10:28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Number 2, 1 John 5:4-5. For whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world. And this is the victory that has overcome the world, our faith. Romans 8:31. What shall we say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? Let's go to John 16:33. I have told you these things so that in me ye may have peace. In this world, you're going to have trouble. Okay, you're going to have it. But take heart that I have overcome the world. Deuteronomy 20:4. For the Lord your God is he who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies, to give you, say to yourself, to give me the victory. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of self-control. For you that are dealing with afflictions, with you that are dealing with addictions, he can give you the self-control that you need. And 1 John, we're kind of rounding it out, 4:4. Little children, you are from God and have overcome them. For he who is in you is greater than he that's in the world. He's greater than any giant you may have. I've got something special I'm going to do real quick, an affirmation for today. I want you to say this after me because it's important. God gave it to me for you. This is it. The giants may come, but they will not stand strong in my life. For my faith is greater than my fear. Yes, I hear the giants, but God's voice is greater in my life. And I'm listening to God through his holy word. And I am a conqueror. Please say it with me. I am a conqueror. Well, beloved, that is all that I have for you today. Remember that God's word is spicy, sweet, and just right. And I want you to live joyfully in the word. Thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you all. Bye-bye.